Hey, it's Katrina here with another video, and today's topic is about Google Ads for small businesses. So do Google Ads still work for small businesses? This is a hot topic for a lot of you. There is a lot of misconceptions out there that Google Ads are strictly only valuable for big businesses, but we're going to get into how small businesses can utilize Google Ads in a way that is not only going to drive traffic to your site, but will get you more calls and will also be cost effective. So stay tuned from beginning to end so you can get the important information, up-to-date information. All right, so small businesses can still benefit from Google Ads. You just have to be a lot more careful and tactful when it comes to your plan. So that leads me to the first part of this conversation. You want to plan ahead. Practice makes perfect, planning makes perfect when it comes to marketing. You don't want to just go in and start clicking buttons when it comes to Google Ads, especially. We know on social media things seem really easy in terms of running ads. There's a lot to that, but Google, there is a ton of features, way more than anything on social media. So you want to go in with the right kind of plan. And first and foremost, you want to know what your audience is looking for, the problems they need solved, and things of this nature. Because if you're not addressing your audience's problems, you're going to find it's very hard to outrank your competitors. If your competitors are outranking you right now, it's a problem with your marketing. You're not doing it enough, or you're not addressing their problems, or some kind of mix of the two. So put yourself in your client's shoes, do research on the competition as well, but moreover, understand what your ideal client wants and the problems you can solve for them, and you will be much better off. You also want to do keyword research. You don't want to just put together random keywords that you think would be good. Do research on that. There are software systems that can help do it for you. Otherwise, you may have to go to Google, do some searches, or in our case, we really like doing research on YouTube. So that's just a helpful tip right there. You also want to be very specific with your keywords. Let's say, for example, you have an outdoor cleaning company. Let's say you do pressure washing, soft washing, power washing, paver sealing, things like that. A lot of our clients are involved in that. In your Google Ads, you don't want to put only broad keywords like pressure washing, soft washing. You're going to get a lot of people who are just kind of looking for information or price shopping if you only have broad keywords. Not to say some of the keywords can't be broad, but you want to be more specific, right? And also tailor your ads to certain areas. Don't just make it in a wide radius of 5 or 10 cities or something like that. You want to start out smaller and then expand, because the larger the radius that you're going to run those ads, the more likely you're going to have competition, and it's just going to be harder for those ads to get traction. You can always grow and expand later. That's just something to keep in mind. You also want to start out gradually increasing your ad spend. Maybe start out with $5 to $10 a day. We think that $10 a day is a good starting point, and then you could slowly work your way up from there if your budget allows. But you don't want to do just $1 or $2 a day. You're going to find that those ads are just going to burn out really quickly. So really more like $10 a day is probably your minimum to get coverage in a very specific area. Don't think that your ads are going to be shown everywhere all over the country for just $10 a day. It does not work like that. That is the minimum. And you want to make sure that every single ad has a link to somewhere on your website or phone number. I'm really surprised that I see ads often that are not linked out to somewhere, especially directly on their site. It's sometimes on a third-party site or has no link at all. You want to make it easy for people to contact you. Not just easy for them to find you, but easy for them to call, to accept that call to action and set up that appointment, set up that free consultation, or whatever it is that you are offering. And that also leads me to something else. Make sure that you have a good offer. Don't just say, hey, we have this service, buy from me. You got to give them an incentive in the form of a free consultation, an ebook, a strategy session, something that is actually going to give them value. I know a lot of people say, well, you can talk to me for 5 minutes for free, so that's the value. Well, that's really not going to help unless you A, give them more time, and B, in that initial conversation, you are actually consulting them to help with their needs, right? So let's say you're a marketing company like us and you're offering a free consultation. In that meeting, you can strategize with them, come up with a plan, and basically give them something over the phone or video chat that they can utilize themselves if they wanted to. Something where if they didn't buy that day, they can use the information you're giving them and they'll see results in the form of more followers or maybe even more calls rather quickly. That gives you value. It shows that you're an authority figure, and it's actually a good incentive to get on the phone or the video in the first place. We do that. We do free consultations, and our meetings are just that. We are consulting the client, and it is a paid service normally, but our first meeting, we give that out for free as an incentive, and we have a very good closing rate because of things like that. So that's just something to keep in mind. Every company's different. You may want to offer, an ebook or something else. Definitely play around with that offer. That's where that planning in the beginning comes into play, right? Another thing you want to do is track your analytics. A lot of people will just set up the ads, they'll do their training, their keyword research, and they just let them run. They just never check their analytics. That's something to keep in mind. Also, when Google does updates, sometimes it'll remove keywords or change things on its own, which is a little weird, but it does happen. So there's multiple reasons why you should be monitoring your ads and your analytics properly on a consistent basis. Once, twice a week would be fine. Just make sure you're not clicking the button and going MIA on the ads. You also want to keep in mind that Google's always changing their requirements, so stay up to date on things that Google is doing. Keep up with news sources. Again, do research on YouTube because that's going to give you up-to-date information. Just make sure that you are toggling the search parameter so that you're only looking at things that are more recent in the last few months rather than something that's a year or 2, 3 years old, because as far as Google's concerned, that might as well be a decade ago. I mean, they literally change their ranking requirements sometimes every couple of months. You also want to do what's called an A/B test or split testing. So with A/B tests, aka split testing, that means that you're going to change a very small variable to see which kind of ad is going to run better. For example, you could run an ad on the same product or service, and one maybe has longer copy and the other one shorter. That's like a really easy to understand example. If we were talking about social media, maybe we do picture versus a video, things like that. So A/B testing allows you to do more testing on your audience, and it helps you figure out kind of which ads are going to be the best to run for you. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you want us to do more videos on this topic, definitely let us know. Also, you want to make sure that you are doing regular SEO with your Google ads. Don't just run the ads, because it's going to be a much higher cost per click than if you were doing SEO and content with your ads. You want to run ads or do organic posts, at least on social media, along with your Google ads. So that's just something to keep in mind. The more boxes you could check with Google, the better off you're going to be. Okay, and if you have any more questions or you want to book an appointment with our marketing team, you can give us a call today at 407-334-9378. Again, that phone number is 407-334-9378. Thank you so much, guys. We look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.